Well, hello friends, Samuel Graham doing TCGs yet again. You can see my face again, though it is a different camera. By the way, more outsiders. Let's do it. So I had my other camera working, figured it out right after recording the other video. Everything was working, all the cameras cooperating nicely, and then suddenly the card camera didn't work. So ultimately what I figured out is, for whatever reason, it was only accepting either my top-down camera or my face camera, but not both. So here we are. I decided I would fiddle with a different camera for my face and use the card camera that I already knew was giving me pretty decent results for the top down. So that's where we are today. Had to do a little bit of last second reconfiguring, but we're ready to go now. We're going to do this entire case. Second one for outsiders. The first one was pretty good. Not one of the ridiculous dumb home runs I've been seeing in some places. Fingers crossed. But definitely nothing to complain about either. Ended up with 2 legendary Van braces, one each cold and rainbow foil, a rainbow foil flick knives, and the usual slew of Majestics and lesser cold foils and that kind of stuff. Rainbow foil or Bitaclat, like just a pretty decent spread, not bad. So, one of those things, not too bad. We can live with how that one went. Now let's see if something truly spectacular can impress us. There we go. I've gone through most of the commons and such right now. Hey, right off the bat, there's a card I was hoping to see more of. Codex of Frailty. Definitely want to get that play set of our codexes, and a rare foil right off the bat too. Not a bad start. So, being as new as this is, I'll probably still be a little bit slower than usual. Hurl, looking for a scrap. Backstab. So that was a good multi-rare pack there. But also, we'll speed it up a little bit through the rares now. Through the commons rather. Also, I caught this after I recorded it. Honestly, I thought I had messed up something completely different, and then realized, oh no, that's what I mistook. I was referring to the Amnesia reveal video that Flake did with the Pitch Perfect podcast with Elaine and Melody. When that was Flake, I said Fluke, who is not the same person. The funny part is, I was actually sitting here thinking, I was picturing Flake, and I feel like I was even, say the right vowel, because their names are pretty close. Like, I was worried I was going to do exactly what I did, and then I did it anyway. So anyway, Pitch Perfect pals, Flake and Fluke, many apologies to all of you for my confusion there. You all get a shout out as a result. That's Pitch Perfect Podcast, Melody and Elaine. That is yet another Vambrace of Determination early in here. How about that? That's a rainbow. Well, that's just wild. We got a legendary early on, though. Let's love to see that. Anyway, so yes, Elaine, Melody at Pitch Perfect Podcast are excellent. That is Flake at 983 Media and Fluke at Fluke and Box. Getting that straight for everybody now, and again, apologies to y'all. Had the right faces, just got the wrong vowel. I love the different tail colors for the Fletches. I think that's a cute touch for the different pitch colors having the matching color in the art and the title. This is already a pretty dang good box, though. We've already landed my third Vambrace legendary, my second rainbow foil one. There is a spike pit trap. I think I already pulled one of those. Ooh, toxicity. That looks really cool in foil. Yeah, I don't think I need another spike pit trap. I do think I already pulled one of those in that first case, but maybe I'm wrong. In any case, it's a fun, majestic trap. Oh, that's cool. So we got a pile of rares there, and then a rainbow foil Mask of Shifting Perspectives, which is just a goofy piece of art that I really didn't notice until I didn't notice on the regular version. Didn't notice it until the foil. How about that? Hoping to play some sealed tomorrow. Get my first taste of what the cards in this set actually play like. We'll see what we can get done there. There's Humble, which I just think is a cool piece of art. I like that a lot. Short and Sharp. It's already in the back half of this first box here. I'm actually going to adjust this slightly because I feel like I might be a little on the loud side. And then we'll keep going. Toxicity looks cool, but after seeing that foil, it looks really cool. Spike with Bloodshot. I like all the different Spike with Shrug cards. They look like they could be interesting. It's another one that I think just looks good. Be Like Water. Ninja isn't usually my go-to, but it's still pretty neat. The stuff from, ooh, speaking of Ninja, a Ninja Majestic, Wander with Purpose. There's enough cool stuff in this set that makes me kind of want to give Ninja a try too. So maybe, I don't know, maybe not for the sealed. Well, obviously we got to see what the sealed pool I get is. Again, not draft, just the 6 boosters sealed. See if I can pull something fun. I feel like I lean towards Assassin for that. Boulder Trap. Death Touch. That's another card I like a lot in the rare slot. That's a rainbow foil And I don't know how to print Gillet. I just don't know. Secret chess piece. How's that? We'll roll with that so that I sound slightly less dumb. I know there are limits to that. Like, I'm going to sound pretty dumb most of the time. That's just how I roll. But limit it. Sneak attack and recoil. I love that sneak attack card. Like, that's a really big axe to be hiding behind your back in an open room. Widowmaker's another fun card, especially in the common slot. I think it's neat. Just that boost, if they don't defend it with enough, can really cause some extra damage and mess somebody's day up if you find a way to like launch it in there as a closer if you've already kind of worn down what they have to defend with. You can cause some bad days. That's good times. We like that. We like giving people bad days when we're playing against them, right? Not in the mean way, just in terms of not getting their deck to beat yours. Seems logical, right? So we have seen 4 Majestics so far. There's number 5, Barbed Cat Undertow. Definitely another one that I like, that I'm super happy to have another one of. I pulled one in the previous case, but that gets us closer to a play set. That's definitely something that I want to... That's a card that I will be wanting to try and get some mileage out of playing Ranger. Death Touch, that's just a good card. Recoil, Malign. So we don't have a foil Majestic, and we don't have a cold foil, but we've got a rainbow foil legendary. So how much can we really complain? Anytime you've got the legendary, you're pretty happy. Already with that first case, took the one of that I needed, and then set up a bunch of looking for scraps. Hey, there we go. I can't remember. I know I got a non-foil of this. I feel like I got a foil, but I'm not positive. This might be the I mean, it's not CNC whatever, but I think that might be the generic hit of the set. There's always kind of one that's a little bit better than everything else. I think that might be it for outsiders. Bleed Out, Infectious Host, Murkmire, and so no cold foil that box. That's interesting. I had not yet, unless I mistook one of these. No, those are definitely both rainbow. And the Van Braces are also definitely rainbow. Interesting. Always a little bit of a bummer to have a box without a cold foil, but we still had a legendary, so I'm not... While I always loved to get my cold foil, we did get a legendary, and everything else was pretty much at par for this set. So I'm not gonna. There's Buzzsaw Trap. I think I already have that one as well. So that's one of those things. Stuff that's got the legendary keyword. I typically see Sneak Attack. That card just cracks me up. As I sling packs everywhere. I usually I collect a play set of them. So for the legendary ones, I only try and get the one. Because I can only play the one unless I build other decks, but can go hunt down the card if I really need it at that point. But for the most part, I just keep the one. Amnesia, speaking of that spoiler card that I muffed my explanation of who did the video. That's a really good card too, though, I think. It's a pay 2 for 6 attacks. But when it hits, hero cards, tokens lose and can't gain names. So, you know, it's not quite as good as some, but that's still pretty decent. As far as things, Frailty Trap, I don't think I've seen a foil one of those yet. Pretty decent. Not as good as that nonsense that lets you the barbed undertow and that kind of thing. But the barbed undertow also isn't a popper, so there's bonds. Be like some water. Backstab, Infectious Host, Razor's Edge, and hey, this is another thing that I think is cool. I mentioned it before, but how she's got the Mysteria border like the ninjas on her young, but her adult has the Pits border. I just think that's a neat touch. I really like that a lot. Wheel Kick, Humble, Peace of Mind. Death Touch is another fun red Death Touch. It's a 1, so the blue is 1 for 4, so the red is 1 for 6. You can only play it from Arsenal, but when it hits, you get to pick one of the new plague tokens to put on the person, which is not bad. Alright, been a while, but we get another Majestic. Ooh, and Laced with Inertia. These laces are fun. Your next arrow attack gains +3, and when it hurts, create the token. Like that. Oh, and the foil right behind it. Even better. I don't know why I'm doing this way. You know what? We're going to shift those common equipments over there. And have a Majestic there, and our foil rares there. Y'all don't care, but it was making me irritated to not have, you know, the cold foils and Majestics gotta have their spot, you know. There's that red Death Touch, 1 for 6. Sure enough, gotta play from Arsenal. The only thing is it only blocks for 2, but that's not the end of the world. For everything else that card does, this is an alright trade-off, I think. So I'm curious here. We're not even to the halfway point of this box yet. And we're already kind of close to the expected, you know, the expected hit count that seems to be pretty consistent. I'd expect essentially 2 more non-foil Majestics. Hurl. Spike with Inertia. Okay, there's a cold foil for us. First cold foil of this case is our Mask of Malicious Manifestations. I pulled a rainbow foil of that in the last box, or the last case, but that's the first cold foil. So that's not bad. That's something new at least. That's the other thing. A lot of the Majestics, even the ones I did pull, I think I only pulled 1. Ooh, that's good too. First time hit. There's a rainbow foil Majestic Scale Peeler, Assassin Dagger. which I didn't pull one of those at all yet. So getting a foil. I pulled a foil this case and a foil Orbitoclast the last one, and those are the only of the Majestic Assassin weapons I pulled, which I think is kind of funny. Anyway, what I was saying, so that's the one interesting thing about this set that makes me wonder if they didn't kind of change Majestic frequency and whatnot on purpose. It is a little bit of a different situation. Funny. Rare, and there is yet another Mask of Malicious Manifestations, a rainbow foil one this time. Like, I wonder if they did that on purpose to kind of put a little bit more of a chase to the Majestics. But the way I've been seeing some of these wild quote-unquote God boxes popping up, I guess I have questions is what I'm getting at. Is how much of that was intentional? Are they just dumping a whole bunch of cards out there? Like, are they trying to help? Are they trying to bring down the secondary market values for cards? Or is whatever happened all just a completely an accident? Beside the point. I don't know. There is non-foil Majestic number 4. So again, we are pretty close at this point. Well, basically, we're one Majestic away from hitting kind of the average pulls for this set. There's Fletch, Infectious Host, Blue Falcon Wing. And we still have, though, 5 packs left. This is going to be an interesting 5 packs. That's the one thing I feel like about this frequency. It's not bad in and of itself, but I kind of wonder, like, it doesn't feel great to have all of these packs you're going through without hitting a cold foil or a Majestic. That said, with Dynasty, you were hitting them every 20 seconds, and it still didn't feel too good. So I don't know. Maybe this is still better. If you start hearing rumbling, that is because there's thunder. It is not, in fact, my stomach. I am not hungry. That's a goofy mask. That's funny. All right, 2 packs left from this second box, and we'll keep on trucking along from there. Spreading Plague, Majestic number 5. That's create X Blood Rot box tokens under the defending hero's control, where X is the number of defending cards. So that's a defense reaction. So that's not even a if it hits. That's just, all right, have they defended? Ooh, a second cold foil. So that, at least, even though it's another common cold foil, those Seeker's leggings still do, in fact, make up for no cold foil in the first box. So that puts us right back in the right spot. I am not upset by that. Backstab. There's Wither. Seeker. And a Quiver. Alright. Into box 3. Pretty much exactly on par with what we expect. We've already seen a rainbow foil legendary, the Van Braces that are right up there. Let's see what else I'm going to. You can't see the pile that I'm scooting, but I'm scooting a pile to give myself a little bit more space here. For some reason, I always have my placements for my piles figured out, and then I forget my placements for my piles and get it all wrong the next time. Sneak attack, Merkmeyer, Mitz, and some fun there. Started looking for my packs and forgot where I had them. Sitting right under my nose. Go figure. I can't explain to you how much of a privilege it is for you all to get to watch my mind at work sometimes. The next time y'all see my mind at work, it'll be the first. There's Wreck Havoc. There's a rainbow foil Wayfarer's Crest. Getting a whole lot of rainbow foil common equipment. No Majestic yet this box. I feel like we're about 6 packs in. Close to it anyway. Hurl, Toxicity, Spike. There's a Blood Rot Trap. Still no Majestic or Cold Foil. There's our first Majestic. That's a second Wander with Purpose for the opening. There are a few of these cards. Gore Belching. I haven't completely figured out what I'm supposed to be trying to do with it yet. Maybe I'll get that figured out eventually. Probably not, but there's Humble, Fletchy Yellow, Missouri. I just really like that aesthetic, the assassin, but it's the quaint, pretty, graceful Mysteria appearance. Kind of fun. I like the way a lot of thematic elements get woven into this game. There is another Barbed Undertow. I think that is my third. I think that wraps up my place out of that one. I am happy. Very happy to see that. Ooh! Okie doke. And a Cold Foil Majestic. Assassin Weapon. The Nerve Scalpel. Excellent. Excellent. I love my common cold foils as much as the next guy, but getting a Majestic cold foil, now that I really like. Recoil. Again, I like that there are so many different daggers for the Assassin that do the same basic thing. 3 rares, another, oh, and a foil Majestic. Burdens of the Past. Alright, so this is an interesting, it's not necessarily the wild 3 legendaries of the last box, but that Cold Foil Majestic puts us in that same ballpark. I certainly am not disappointed with how this is going. I've heard some horror stories. I've seen the really good boxes, but I've also seen people talk about not getting a legendary in a case. Sometimes that happens, though it seems pretty rare in the Fab 2.0 era. But I have heard of that. Or no cold foils, or there have just been some pretty bizarre pull rates, I'd say. Burdens of the Past, non-foil. I don't think I had pulled one of those in my first go. So I still got, looks like about 8 packs left. Looks like I got about 2 more Majestics. Pull. Though I mean, if you take all both the cold foil and the rainbow foil Majestics, I'm already ahead of pace. Oh, I was saying about the daggers before I got distracted by something else cool. I do like that they all do the same basic thing, but it's basically a pick your poison. That if they've all got the piercing, so they can't just throw a real easy equipment. Like, they can't just throw, all right, you're swinging for 1, I'll throw 1 block equipment at you. It's like, well, if you fletch a blue tail, I still think that's cool. Okay, cool. That means I'm hitting you for 2 now, so you still take 1. But if they do hit, they all nerf a different kind of blocking card. Codex of Frailty. Definitely wanting to make sure I hit all those codexes, so I'm glad to see that. So, like, some of them target reactions, some of them target attack actions or non-attack actions, just all the different kinds of blocking cards. I think that is a neat touch, that basically whatever you think you're going to run up against in your matchup, you can have the different daggers sideboarded to pick your poison, basically. Because there are poisons in the set too. Looking for a scrap, backstab. Okay, that's just wild. This is silly. That is a second rainbow foil legendary Vambraces of Determination. So now and this is still just the 3rd box. I've got a whole nother box. We could find even more fun. But this is, so far, 5 legendaries, 4 of which are Vambraces out of my 2 cases. So far, 4 Vambraces out of 5 legendaries in 2 cases. 3 rainbow foil. This set's weird, y'all. There is a common foil equipment Seeker's Mitts. Last pack of box 3, and then we will dive in and wrap this up with the last box. See if we can hit one more legendary on the way out. Maybe another cold foil one. Because that is, I think, how my other box went, or my other case went, that I got, granted, one was Vambrace, one was Flick Knives. I got my 2 rainbow foil legendaries first. And then I think it was my last box that had my cold foil Vambrace. Touch yellow. Ha, same Corvus. Death Touch. I really like that card, especially in red, obviously. But I think Death Touch is going to be a really good card. It's another one of those where yellow, I think, won't be in favor, and red will definitely be the favorite. But I could see blue getting a little bit of play as well. All told, there is another one of my codexes. Yes, please. Oh yeah, that's interesting. We only landed 4 non-foil Majestics in that last one. That said, still comes to the fact that we got a legendary, a cold foil Majestic, and a rainbow foil Majestic. So it's really more than made up for it, but it's still definitely a peculiarity with this set that I can see probably giving people some heartburn and messing with some folks' enjoyment of what's going on with it. I don't know. Death Touch, Spinning Wheel, Spike with Frailty. So we've got 1 codex so far this box. 1 Majestic codex. I think I'm getting the codexes I need. The Majestics overall are working out toward getting me play sets of everything. And I got Van Braces for days. You need Van Braces. I got you some dang Van Braces. Ooh, there is a fun Majestic. Dishonor. It's one of those that it takes a lot to set it up, but if you manage to get that hit, you can ruin your opponent's day. This one is, if Bonds of Ancestry was the last attack, this combat chain, this has +2, which is already fine. So you haven't set that up, you got a 4 coming in. When this hits, if you control Surging Strike, Descendant Gust Wave, and Bonds of Ancestry, the hero loses all abilities for the rest of the game. There are some heroes that can kind of roll with that and keep functioning, and there are some that might as well concede if that hits. It takes a lot of setup, there's a lot to it, but man, that card is going to give some people some headaches. I'm really looking forward to... No, lying. I'm not at all looking forward to having that end a tournament for me at some point. There we go. Rainbow Foil Majestic Shakedown. And I think this is one of the better specialization, like individual class or specialization Majestics in the set. So it's another 2 for 6, only Uzuri. But if you've played or activated an attack reaction, this chain link, Shakedown has, when this hits, this is the card I was thinking of. Choose red, yellow, blue. They reveal their hand, banish it. That's actually not the one I was thinking of, but that is still yet another really good attack action that has a really potent ability. This one blocks for 3 on top of it. But also is a popper. So I get the feeling, I hit that foil nerve scalpel, so I kind of feel like I'm not going to hit another big cold foil. I think that was my... Or like I'm not going to hit another legendary. I think that was my next, the equivalent of from that first case, that cold foil legendary that I pulled. I could be pleasantly surprised, but that seems like it makes sense based on what I'm seeing. At some point, I really hope I pull one of those ridiculous cases, though. Who doesn't? You'd have to be silly to say, you know what? I think I'd rather not pull that. Now there is the other side of it, that when you pull that, you got a majestic amplifying error. When you pull that, it probably means somebody else got a garbage box. I get that, and from that perspective, I hope it's all knocking cards. Oh, out of whack. But just from the me opening one perspective, I feel like I would really enjoy that, so I'd kind of like to. We still got a little bit more than the last quarter of this box. Still looking for 2 more Majestics. Still looking for a cold foil this box. Spike with Frailty. Still looking, like I said, we got a Majestic rainbow foil already. But we are looking for a cold foil and 2 Majestics in this last home stretch of the case. Thank you for spending time with me. I really do appreciate it. I usually throw it in at the end, but we'll say it now while I'm thinking about it. If you like what I do here, if you just enjoy my nonsense ramblings, there's a Majestic. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a comment, tell me what you're opening, what you're playing, what you feel about like the pull rate changes and all that jazz. Hey, there is our cold foil as well. My Seeker's Jelly. That is not a sleeve, that is a empty pack. Fine. So that is our cold foil and our Majestic accounted for. We still got like 6 packs over here. Maybe 1 more Majestic. I'm not expecting a whole lot beyond that. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what's going on. Do you like Outsiders? Do you like the apparent changes in pull rates? Silky. I was about to say, is that something else cool? It kind of is, but it's only a rainbow foil common equipment. Got a bunch of these this case, though. Different rainbow foil common equipment. That's 6 total. What are you pulling? Are you even opening Outsiders? You still opening Uprising? Just let me know. I'm always curious what is intriguing other people at any given time. A few more packs as the thunder rolls in. And we will wrap up this opening for you. There's a Death Touch, Wreak Havoc, Spike with Inertia, Brush Off, which I think is a cool looking card. 2 packs left. Hope to see 1 more Majestic, I think. But again, with the exception of like the one, there's the Majestic Stab Wound. Going into a Star Wars sleeve. That legendary got a cold foil, got downgraded to a Majestic cold foil. But other than that, this box landed, this case rather, landed almost exactly as my previous one did. With 2 rainbow foil legendaries, 2 Vambraces. That's still funny to me. 2 of the same legendary. But we got our nice little pile of, you know, after starting with a box where we had no cold foil, we still ended up with 4 total cold foils. One of them is the Majestic Nerve Scalpel weapon. So like I was saying, this pretty much puts us back. This replaces that legendary. Not quite the same value level, but it's still pretty dang good. And then we got our 4 rainbow foil Majestics, including another weapon. I got one of the weapons last case, the Orbitoclast. So that's pretty neat. We did, though, this time, unless I missed one, which is always a possibility, and hopefully I catch it, sorting through rares and stuff later for looking through my checklist for the ones I need. We only got 19, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 non-foil Majestics. But we got a Dishonor. We got 1, 2, 3 Codexes. We got Barbed Undertow a couple times. It's still a pretty good spread. This is a weird set. This is a really interesting set that I'm definitely opening more of. Looking forward to that. So, that's where we are. Pretty good box still. 2 legendaries. We got that Cold Foil Majestic. I mean, no major complaints. Majestics feel a little bit low overall as I knock some of my computer stuff off. But, I mean, when it all comes down to it, this is pretty close to equivalent to the last one. Pretty consistent. No major issues. I'm kind of enjoying this. I look forward to actually playing it and seeing if one of these classes, Assassin, Ranger, I've got an Azalea deck built, but I would have to upgrade it. But if one of these really catches my attention and makes me want to play it, we'll see how that goes. As always, though, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you stopping by. I try not to take your time for granted. I know when I do these full cases, especially for a new set, they're a little long, so I try not to take it for granted. So really, thank you. I really appreciate all the time you decided to give me today. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.